Hey, what's up everybody? This is Chicken Possible with Rewards Hunter, back with part 11 of The Bard's Tale. So this is the series where we work through grabbing all of the achievements within this game and a bunch of Microsoft Rewards points along the way. If you haven't watched parts 1 through 10, those will be linked in the description as always, so you can get caught up and grab all the achievements that we've previously grabbed. And I also want to give a big thanks to World of Warships for sponsoring this video, but we'll talk more about that in a bit. So the first thing you want to do is take a look at the Rewards Weekly set. So this is available now. However, if you're in the United States or the UK or Canada, you may actually want to wait on the 3 achievements and follow along with this guide tomorrow, February 1st or later, so that you can sort of combo these 3 achievements with the February monthly bonus round. That punch card should be coming out tomorrow, so you may want to just hold off until tomorrow. I won't be posting another Bard's Tale guide for that day. But anyway, when you're ready to play along, let's go ahead and click on Age of Empires, which is the featured game for this week. So we'll get our first green check mark there. And then the second part is Achievement Hunter, so we'll work on those 3 achievements in the Bard's Tale. The third part is to run your Bing searches on 3 separate days to finish out this punch card. And also don't forget that you can use the achievements on 3 separate days if you want to for the Achieve More, Earn More punch card, and that would get you potentially 150 points out of these 3 achievements as well. But let's go ahead and take a look at the Bard's Tale. You should be at 25 out of 51 achievements so far, and the very last achievement that we unlocked was the Light Fairy Tune achievement for unlocking the Song of the Light Fairy. So we did that with the Boves a couple of weeks ago, you'll probably remember. So let's go ahead and load our save game in Kirkwall. That's probably where you saved if you saved at the exact same spot that I did. So you should be at Kirkwall. And if you are not at Kirkwall, remember that you can fast travel to get here. So you would just hold down the left bumper and then right on the D-pad and then left bumper again. Press A to go to the levels, and then you would go ahead and fast travel to KL_bar1. So that's where we are right now in Kirkwall. So I'm not going to fast travel here because I'm already there, but we'll just go ahead and head over to where the Boves were last time. So let's take a left. We're going to head to the west and go over to where the Boves are. So you can kind of follow along with this sort of dirt path that you might see me traveling along here. And we'll head to the west. And you should be able to walk over to the area where the Boves are still standing, where they did their dance last time and told us the Light Fairy Tune. So there they are right there over to the west side. And we're actually going to go up just a little bit to the right of them. And we're going to use the Light Fairy Tune now. So hit the right bumper and then X and then Y. And that should summon the Light Fairy, and it'll kind of follow along with us and help us out in the battles that are coming up. That's going to be handy. Let's go ahead and press X to open this door to the storage room right here. And we're going to collect our 6th token. This is called the Foulstone token. So head back to the back of this little chamber and over to the right a little bit, and you might have to press A to slash through some of these barrels that are in your way. Once you've gotten through those, then you can press X to open the chest, and you get the Foulstone token. So this is our 6th out of the 20 tokens that we need to collect in this playthrough. And if you have missed any tokens, I'll post some extra ones at the end of the series, so you should be able to get, more than enough tokens by the end of this. But that's number 6 for everybody who's following along and has been able to find all of them so far. And we're going to keep heading east, and we're going to get our first achievement right over here by this kind of bear-looking guy here. So press X to open this door and head into this storage room. And then there's one more chest inside of here. It's just up and to the left a little bit. Press A to slash through some of the barrels, and press X to open the chest. And then we'll get the Bodyguard Tune. So this is our first of 3 achievements for today. And once you've got that, then we can go ahead and fast travel. So left bumper, right on the D-pad, left bumper. And we are going to go to HP_forest 1D. So we'll scroll down about halfway or so here. And there it is, HP Forest 1D. So that's the one we want to go to. So let's press A, and you'll immediately get the Chapter 3 achievement right here. So that's our 2nd of 3 achievements that we're looking to get. And the 3rd one is going to be a little bit more involved. We're going to have to do quite a bit of battling here. But the first thing we want to do is head forward, and we're going to talk to Narf, this guy that is on the edge of the water here. And we're going to have to battle a ton of his trout minions coming up.
Master.
Next.
So you can go ahead and fight against these guys. Just press A to slash your way through them. You should still have your sword selected at this moment. So we'll just destroy all these guys. And you can collect any gold that they drop or anything that they drop on the ground here. Bam! And you can see that the Light Fairy and our dog Roxy are actually attacking this trout over here. So those two are going to help us out in this battle that's coming up, because we're actually going to have to do some bow and arrow shooting coming up. But once you've got all those guys taken out, then head through this gate over here, and we're going to look for Mel, who is over here, and he's going to help us out with opening some force fields. So press X to talk to Mel. Oh, and then you can just press B a few times to get through his dialogue, and he's going to help us out, like you said.
No offense, but heard it already.
So now we're going to hit our left trigger and press B to select our bow. And remember that you can just press A and kind of aim with your left stick to shoot your bow.
Look out!
So we're going to move over to the right and start taking some shots at these trouts that are up on kind of the upper ledge up here. And as soon as we take those guys out, then Mel is going to take down the first force field, and he basically just kind of slams himself into the force field and gets electrocuted, and that's how he gets rid of them. But it is effective, actually, so that's great.
I kind of enjoyed it.
And they call me a deviant.
And basically we're just going to keep following along the sort of obvious path here. So we're just going to go ahead and go up this pathway that was open through the force field, and we're going to go into the next section with the trouts. And this does get kind of repetitive through here, but just kind of pay attention to the red dots on your mini map. That'll show you where the trouts are.
Okay, here we go again.
And then as you get through each section, then Mel will go ahead and throw himself into the barrier and get rid of it.
Okay, here we go again.
That still cracks me up.
Look out! It's the trout!
And you may see a message at the top of the screen that says Mel's fear factor and has a little countdown on it. So don't worry too much about that. Just don't take too much time as you're going through these battles. I think if you go longer than sort of a 2-minute time period, then he might, run away. But I don't think there's much chance of you taking longer than 2 minutes, because pretty much everybody's just a one-hit kill. Thanks to World of Warships for sponsoring this video. With World of Warships, you can command a massive naval fleet featuring some of history's most iconic war vessels. Unlock new ships as you prepare to dominate the seas. The game has new content coming out each month, such as new ships, in-game nations, cosmetics, and ship classes. You can always count on enjoying fresh gameplay experiences in World of Warships' stunning 12v12 arenas. As far as graphics, the 40+ unique maps with dynamic weather that comprise World of Warships have all been updated with stunning new water effects and textures that make the game's seas virtually indistinguishable from the real deal. You'll also have multiple ship classes to choose from. Conquer the oceans aboard history's most iconic battleships, destroyers, aircraft carriers, or cruisers. And if the depths call to you, you can even dive in with a new class of submarines. A great thing about World of Warships is that I know some of you are solo players, and we also have others that tend to enjoy more of the multiplayer. So in this game you can play as either a lone wolf or in a division with your friends. World of Warships is also available for both PC and Xbox consoles. Check out the link here and in the description to get started with the action. Now these guys that run at you can be kind of tricky. You can't really shoot them very well from right up close. So what I like to do is kind of back up a little bit. Whenever anybody runs at me, just back up and then take your shot with the bow. So you'll see me get kind of tangled up with a couple of the trouts coming up here, especially when they come out on these boars or whatever they are, some type of mount. They'll kind of run at you and get right up in your face. So if they're too close and you're not able to kill them, just back up a little bit and try again to take a shot. But the Light Fairy will also help, and Roxy will also help a little bit, just kind of stunning the trouts. So that'll help keep them in a single position so that you can shoot them with your bow. But always try to keep your distance from your enemies. You're definitely much better at ranged combat when you have the bow. Now you can, if you want to, switch to your sword. You'll see me doing that in a couple of minutes. Feel free to switch back and forth between the sword and the bow. I mostly just use the bow in this section though. So we're still just moving along, taking out those red dots as we see them. And we are making progress here. We're working towards that Narf guy that we saw at the very beginning that we talked to. And we need to ultimately defeat him in this area, but there's just quite a bit of distance to cover before we can get to him. You can ignore the ex-chosen one there on the ground. You may remember him from a previous part. He's still there, his body's still there, but we're just gonna move on past him and keep working on taking out these enemy trouts along the way.
Look out! It's the trout!
And Mel definitely likes to call out whenever he sees any of the trout. That starts to get kind of repetitive too, where he's shouting that out, but it's good to have a heads up, I guess, right?
Look out! It's the trout! Oh,
We're still just shooting with A, and then Mel is taking down the force fields as we move through.
Look out! It's the trout! Is it my turn or yours?
And you'll get all kinds of little random pickups along here as you're taking out these trout, like trout pants and daggers and arrows and all kinds of things. But none of those are really crucial to our playthrough, so don't worry about it if you miss any of the pickups or collectibles. I'll definitely highlight things that are crucial as we go through, like all of the tokens that we've collected. So we got that Foulstone token earlier. That was our 6th out of 20. But like I said, I'll have a few extra ones at the end of this series that will allow you to catch up if you happen to miss any. So this is where the battle starts to get a little bit more complicated. We start to get really close to Narf here, and you can actually see him. You can actually see him there, and he was using his music to kind of summon these different trout to fight against us. So just keep pushing forward and pushing close to his position and just battling the trouts that get in front of you. But you want to keep moving up to Narf and keep getting closer and closer to him. You won't be able to actually take him out just yet, but you do want to keep progressing and don't get too slowed down. Like I said, feel free to switch to a sword here if you feel like that might be a little bit more efficient to fight against him with. You just hit your left bumper and then A to switch to the sword. So here we get a glimpse of Narf again right there, and he keeps disappearing and moving off into the distance. He's just constantly summoning these trouts to battle us, though. It's a good thing we're basically invincible right here, because there are a lot of enemies in this area.
Stay down!
So this is the moment when I went ahead and switched to my sword, so I just hit the left trigger and then A to switch to the sword. But generally we want to head to the west here. You can see on the mini-map that north is actually to my left. So we want to keep heading west. And anytime you see Narf and he's sort of summoning those guys, just get really close to him and that'll make him push on off to the next section. So we're kind of attacking and beating him back as we move closer to his final position. So here I went back and switched to my bow since the trout were up on the ledge. You can't really hit them with your sword, so you want to take some shots with your bow and arrow to get them taken out. And you might level up, so you may want to press X to go ahead and take advantage of that and auto-allocate your points here.
Allows the bard to equip and use two-handed
So Mel has opened up the next force field, and there's one more up here. So we'll just shoot these trouts with our bow and arrow.
Yeehaw! Look out! It's the trout! Yeehaw!
Alright, so Mel's taken out that force field, and here's another one, and this one has just a ton of trouts, like throwing logs and all kinds of things at us. Just keep shooting, and you will eventually get them all taken out.
Here we go again!
This is kind of the last hurrah for Narf. There aren't too many more enemies, and we're getting very close to his final position where we can actually take him out. And he, of course, is just going to be a one-hit kill as well. It's just that we couldn't take him out until he gets to his final position, and we get through all the force fields to get to him.
Look out! It's the trout! Okay, here we go again!
So I believe this is the last force field here. So now we can go ahead and move on to where Fnarf is and actually take him out. So once you get to the water here, you should see him appear. And then you can just tap B to quickly get through the dialogue. And then we'll actually be able to take him out here. So he will keep kind of spawning people, but just take shots. So he will keep spawning more of the trout here, but just keep taking shots, and eventually you should get a shot that will hit Fnarf himself.
Begrudgingly brave.
And that will take him out.
Skip it.
So after you've taken out Narf, you can go ahead and open this chest if you want to. It's not crucial, it's just got some goodies inside of it. But we'll head to the east and you'll see a gate. You can press X to open that. And then we're going to go up and talk to Mel one more time, and he will give us the Mercenary Tune, which will actually be our third achievement for today.
There you are. I've been wondering where you ran off to.
You did it! You've made it farther than any.
So there we go. We've got the Mercenary Tune, and that'll get us our third achievement right there.
The things I do for lust.
So now all we need to do is make sure that we save our progress so that we can come back here the next time, and you'll see a blue dot just a little bit to the east of our position. So you can move over to that save book and save your progress right there. So we'll overwrite our Kirkwall save, and we'll start up here next time. But let's switch over to the Microsoft Rewards app now. We will need to click on the Achievement Hunter here to get our second task completed. And then the only other thing you'll have to do is run some Bing searches on 3 separate days in order to finish out this punch card. And don't forget to click on the Achieve More, Earn More, and grab your 50 points for the day as well. So like I said, we'll have the February monthly bonus round coming out tomorrow, but I won't be posting a new guide for that one. I'm going to assume that you're using these 3 achievements for that punch card. So that's going to do it for the Bard's Tale Part 11. I will see you back here in Part 12. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you found that video helpful, please be sure to click the subscribe button here on YouTube and hit the bell for notifications. You can also find some helpful links in the description if you want to stay connected. Stay tuned for more Microsoft Rewards and achievement guides, and I'll see you in the next one.